Hello everyone, happy Monday. Where's the poppy can? Dang it. I had it set up. It was running. It's not your fault. I went to sleep. Yeah. And we will tell it to focus. Focus. Okay, that's about as good as we're gonna get it. Where were we? Yes, hello, Monday. Happy Monday. It's hot. It's uncomfortably hot today. It's already Australian hyper summer. At least it's light outside. That's good. What was happening with my camera just now? Oh dear, is today going to be another day of technical difficulties? I mean, it kind of looked like a car passed by, but that shouldn't have caused the brightness to change suddenly. Captain Sumi, good morning. Hello. Yes, hello everyone. Cyclone, Carfish, Captain Sumi. Good to see you all. I am tired as usual. Let's bring the game up. Around 22 here in WA. That's not too bad. I don't know what the actual temperature is here, but not me calling Puppy Puppy. It's okay. I won't tell her. Yeah, where we left off last time, we had gone to the spooky island of Scarabray, where there's ghosts and skeletons, and we'd obtained the answers to the questions of life and death, which is to say that, haha, trollface, there are no answers. And apparently we're supposed to accept that answer and bring it back to the sage Alagna, and he'll totally accept that. Sure. In between streams, I was going to do shopping for spells and organizing of inventory. I did not do that. Yes, I have neglected my duties. We still have not sorted out a bunch of this stuff. Joanna doesn't have a helmet. Why don't you have a helmet? You didn't drop it, did you? Yes, okay, so basically the whole weekend I've been spent sleeping. Don't ask me why, trying to figure out what exactly is doing this to me, but there's no energy, intense need to nap all the time like crazy. Let's put some memorabilia here on this table. Oh yes. The honey, sure, we could put that there too. Yeah, I've got the imp whistle. We'll still need that to talk to the imps. We've got our... what's it called? It has value. Sentimental. Our sentimental value buckets of blood there, and various bags full of money. I was going to dump some of it off actually, because we made it big on the gambling tables at Buccaneer's Den. Hairball! Hello, good to see you. I was just thinking, when is he on next? He's on now, and you can probably hear a plane going overhead in the background. Hooray! I would prefer that planes not fly overhead while I'm streaming, but I'm not really about to close the balcony door right now because holy crap, it's hot. So yes, we're just going to start off the stream with a little bit of... oh, that won't fit. Hello, hooray. A little bit of inventory management, which we should have done off stream, but we didn't. So, you know, we'll just stash our gold coins. Quite pleasant to do, really. It's very soothing to count our money. Bad boy, I never turn notifications on. Oh, I have very few notifications on for Twitch streams. It got to a point where, because I had the Twitch mobile app on, and it was buzzing me about every little thing, and then there's a Twitch account called Twitch_ANZ, which I don't follow, and so I don't have notifications set on. But they were abusing their power and were sending a push notification to my phone anyway, saying that they're live. So I just uninstalled the whole damn thing. I pretty much rely on Twitter and Discord now for Go Live notifications. Okay, so we've got a few gold nuggets there, that's nice. We could go exchange them. Is there any other inventory management I was going to do? Okay, there's a chest piece. Magic axe, sure, dump that in there. You need a glass sword sentry? I don't think you do. Treacle, hello. Welcome on in, dear. How are you? Shall we do some shout-outs? I suppose we should do some shout-outs now. So we've got Cressica, who should be in bed and resting up with the COVID. You're good, thanks. That's good to hear. What time is it for you? It must be, 8 a.m., yeah. Well, I hope you're having a good morning, and I hope you have a good Monday. We have, who else? We have Carlfish, who has been streaming StarCraft 2 on Wednesdays. If you like StarCraft, sorry, he's been streaming StarCraft on Wednesdays, too. Not, yeah, you know what I mean. Brain isn't active today, sorry. It's just too hot, and I've been sleeping most of the day away. We have Captain Sumi, who is a fellow member of the Stream Shed. Has cancelled stream tonight, but look out for a random non-scheduled stream later this week, maybe? My brain is rarely active, full stop. We've got Hairball, who is a very nice DOS retro streamer. I can sometimes catch him streaming while I'm working, due to meetings and things. And of course we have Tree. A gift to Twitch, quite apt, yes. So, you are all my friends, and I'm sure you're all following everyone else already, but there you go, there's a few people to follow if you're just lurking. And it's fine if you're just lurking, that's quite alright. I'm just happy to be able to stream these games and have fun while doing so, and possibly share them with friends. I finally remembered to turn off the Korean voice pack for the next stream. I don't know, it added a certain something. Carl, yeah, it's a little different. Made it sound professional. We're pro gaming. Inventory management. Yeah, I would like to find out what happened to Jana's helmet there. I wonder if she dropped it while fleeing. I have a theory, actually, about the whole fleeing mechanic, that maybe... okay. That... I was going to drop it in the chest, but it vanished, so it's probably found its way into the avatar's inventory? No? Okay. So it's just vanished, has it? Hooray for game mechanics. I have a theory about why some of my party members have been fleeing battle so often. And of course, it's the fact that Jana here has a lot more strength and therefore maximum hit points and current hit points than anyone is supposed to have, due to my cheaty abuse of certain magical drugs. And so I can't help but wonder if the game's decision for whether you should flee or not is based on how much health you have, and perhaps it doesn't account for people having more than 30 health. Who knows? Anyway, are we done with lightening our load a bit here? YOLO needs more ammo. He's defaulting to using this one now. Got enough food for the moment, that's good. Can't eat this honey, I'll just drop it. Well. Yeah, perfect. Who else was needing to lighten their load? Spark's got a bunch of gold. Okay, we could put some of this gold in the bag here, yes. Inventory management, live on stream. It's what you all wanted. You were all begging for. Just fiddling through all of my bags of stuff. And considering I can carry a lot more stuff than most people would if they were playing the game legitimately, gets extra interesting. Okay, there's another. I'm just going to drop it on the floor. It's fine. I will clean up later, he said, knowing full well that he did not clean up from last time. Oh, that's where the Fire Doom staff went. She found a way to stick it in this tiny bag. Put it on the floor, please. Although they look very impressive, they're actually not that great for combat. Yeah, it won't fit because there's an enormous staff in here. There we go. Because the explosions, well, like the fireballs track the enemy, but then the explosions do air effect damage. And inevitably you have some melee people in your party, so they're going to get hit by that, aren't they? Alright, last bit of inventory management here, I swear, and then we shall go exchange our gold nuggets and continue the quest. This is the playhouse. Taking a wrong turn. Just walk straight through, it's fine. They're not doing a play right now. You catch them at the right time of day, they will be rehearsing. Not a very good play. Okay, so the person that we need to talk to at the bank is not working yet. And that's why it's 6:49 AM. Well, what else can we do in Britain for a bit? We could go buy some food, maybe. Oh, except of course the shops won't be open yet either. Maybe the bakers will be open. Or we could bake some bread or something, I don't know. Oh yeah, the baker is open. Just smell that freshly baked bread. Delicious. Nice. Sorry, maybe I should close that window. Just cool down a little bit, that would be great. Don't know what I'm going to do for streaming when it gets really, really hot. That bread is not rising. Hey, move out of the way, I need to steal your pastries. Also, you should be putting this dough in the oven. Actually, if I do this, then it's considered stealing, isn't it? Hang on, we'll drop it on the other first. And then you can put it in the oven. Ah. Well, that closed my window, so it might still be considered stealing. It's difficult with this game. You won't really know until one of your companions gets offended and leaves you. In this case, it's pretty much just going to be yellow, though. Anyway, that's stocked up on a few pastries and things. Let's get some ammo. Job. We want to buy things. What wouldst thou like to buy? We would like to buy bolts. Bolts sell for 30 gold for a dozen. Wouldst thou still like to buy? Yes. How many dozen would thou like? I don't know. This many. Done. Wouldst thou like something else? No. Bye. Goodbye. Alright, so I saw that John's got 20, and I've got 48. 68? Oh. Wait, no, it's perfect. It's perfect. Nice. And you don't need to dual wield the pie, YOLO, that's fine. Have a shield? Or I suppose if we're switching back to bolts, then use the crossbow. There you go. Perhaps now it is time that we can exchange gold nuggets for actual gold. So how has everyone's weekends been? I said, mine very uneventful. I intended to do things, and then I didn't, and I just slept a lot. Because all of the chronic fatigue. It was good naps. You know, me and Poppy, we've got the whole routine down pat now. We sleep in the morning, we get up and have breakfast, and then we go to the sofa back there and have a bit of another snooze. What time is it? 8:28 AM. I assume the bank opens at 9 then. Well, let's just have a wander. Music hall. We've got xylophone. Do a little impromptu concert. Oh, harpsichord. Oh, that's a carpet. Xylophone. And my favorite, the harp. Oh, who's this? People have come to attend our little concert. Hi. You see a handsome and flamboyant musician. What's your name? You are entirely plot irrelevant. The musician nods at you. I'm Nino. What is it you do? I am studying to be the greatest bard that Britannia has ever known. I probably already am the greatest bard Britannia has ever known. You note that Nino is not at all modest. What's a bard? It is a great honor to be a bard. Thou art someone who gives pleasure to other people, while at the same time fulfilling a creative urge within thyself. It is truly magical. I know this from my experience playing with the avatars. The avatars, you say? Nice 6.6 degrees C right now. I would like that very much. My weekend was good. It was a wonderful cold time now, my favourite time of year. Not only by the inversion we get by the air quality takes a hit due to wood stoves and car exhaust. I don't know, I kind of like the smell of, like, burning fireplace. But, yeah, it could probably get excessive. I mean, you know, down here in Australia we get the bushfires, and that is not a pleasant smell. Just oppressive smoke. Tell me about the avatars. It is a singing group I play with. We play at the Blue Boar every evening. Please, come listen to us. Nino leans in to whisper. But I plan to begin performing alone very soon. I am obviously the most talented member of the quartet. All right, that's enough from you. Farewell. Thou must watch the postings for our performance dates. And who is this? You see an attractive middle-aged woman with music in her eyes. What's your name? I am Judith, and I already know who thou art. Who am I? I teach music at the music hall. I also fatten my purse a bit by playing with the avatars. The avatars? Have you seen any around lately? We are a singing group. We play at the Blue Boar every evening. Please come and hear us. My pupil, Nino, is in the group. We hope to tour the country next year if we can raise the funds. What sort of music do you play? Music is my life. I know I will never be a famous bard, but I receive great pleasure from playing and performing. I enjoy teaching as well. It fulfills my life's purpose to teach others. It also gives me time away from home. Oh, what's wrong with home? Oh, I do not want to speak about mine home. Mine husband and I, well, we are not altogether happy. What's up with your husband? Thou mightest know him. He's Patterson, the town mayor. He is an intelligent and honest man, but we have our differences. I do not know why I'm telling thee all of this. What sort of differences? Well, for one thing, he's a member of that group, the Fellowship. Another thing is that he does not spend too much time at home. I cannot believe he works so much. He works a lot? He's always saying he has to work late. Some nights he comes home before dawn. Other nights he is out the entire night. Well, I must not think about it. I only become saddened. I must concentrate on my music. Yeah. Alright, bye Judith. Judith goes back to her instrument after a smile and a wave. We actually did the whole Judith Patterson thing on an earlier episode. Avatar, Britannia's busiest relationship coach, to the rescue. Yeah, we investigated her husband Patterson and found that he's cheating on her with the curator of the museum. But then, as I recall, our game crashed, so I didn't bother to follow up on that because it requires being at their house at a specific time of day when I restored what we'd done for the save game. So she's blissfully ignorant at the moment. Let's get some cash. How may I help thee? Asks Cynthia. We want to exchange goods and services. Dost thou have some gold that thou wouldst like to exchange? Yes. We can exchange thy gold nuggets and bars into spendable coin for thee. I will give thee 10 gold coins for each gold nugget and 100 gold coins for each gold bar. And here are 120 gold coins for thee in return, lady. I thank thee for thy business. Alright, bye. Good day, my lady. Alright, we are set. Where's the boy? Boy's inventory. It inevitably goes into the avatar's backpack, so we'll just scooch those over there. So, let's call this start of stream 16. What are we doing today? Well, we have the answers to life and death. The troll answers anyway, but they're still answers. We did what Alagna wanted. We will go back to Alagna, give him the answers. He will in return give us access to his notebook. Give the notebook to the Wisps get their knowledge. We get the knowledge the Wisps were going to give us. We return the notebook to Alagna, of course, who will be very happy to have his notebook back. And then I guess we move on with the main quest. Easy. That'll be a stream. Off we go on our flying carpet. You know the cove? And then this must be the Isle of Fire. With all those blasted puzzles that we did in order to get our stats improved. I think if we go... oh yeah, we've overshot it slightly. We need to go southwest. It looks like you could actually land the carpet on the Isle of Fire, and I wonder if you would break some of the quests by doing so. There's our friend Katrina, minding the sheep. Yeah, let's see if we can park here. First time, amazing. Parking this carpet is actually harder than doing parallel parking. Yeah, okay, these bodies are still here, no one's bothered to clean them up, that's fine. Here we are in Alagna's amazing house. It's a huge mansion. Look how tall it is. Funny that it's only like one normal story tall on the inside, though. I wonder, you know, just... Kitty, hi. What would happen if, you know, we just turned on the hack mover briefly and pulled his roof off? What might we see? No? Oh wait, there's a candle. Can I jump up on the roof to see what's going on here? Just casually destroying this guy's roof. Okay, what else is next to the candles then? The candle? Ooh. So 4 candles arranged in a square. Where have we seen that before? I was kind of expecting to see some other stuff stashed in the roof here, though. No. Oh well, down we go. That's enough cheatiness for today. So yes, O wise sage Alagna, we have for you the answers to life and death. Oh, and you have a yellow potion for us, that's great. Yoink. How did Alagna sound? Hello again, Alagna says. We have your answers. Thou hast spoken to the Tortured One and learned the answers to the questions of life and death? Yes, we did, unfortunately. Then what are the answers? You just have to be good. Strive for unity. Yeah. There's no answers. The sage smiles. Thou hast begun the journey on the road to the enlightenment. As thou hast heard, all is not what has been taught by one's teachers. 'Tis a pity. Now, I suppose thou dost want to borrow the notebook? Yes, please, that's the only reason we're here talking to you. Very well. Dost thou promise to return my notebook? No. Then I cannot let thee borrow the notebook. I just wanted to see what would happen if we said no. Obviously, we're definitely going to return the notebook to him. He really does want it to be returned. And it's very important that we return it to him. Yes. Very well. I'm counting on thee to return it to me personally. No telling what misfortune may befall thee if thou dost fail to do so. And as further incentive, I just might give thee something else which will help thee in thy quest, if thou dost return it to me safely. Oh, good. Here's the key to my storeroom, the first building to the south of here. He grins slyly. Thou must determine how to find the notebook thyself. Consider it something of a game. Okay, fine. It's in his storeroom. How hard could that be? He's given us the key. This gold thing, I guess. Does it open this door? It does. And does it open this door? It also does. Hooray. There's also a lever here for some reason. Didn't seem to do anything. So this is a bit of an annoying puzzle, but it's something we can brute force our way through eventually. There's an invisible wall here, so we can't go through there anyway. And this way has a bit of carpet that looks a bit sus. What happens if we step on it? Aha, we get teleported here. But there was an invisible... no, sorry. There was an illusory wall here anyway, so we could have just walked through there. Locked door, let's try the key. So far, so good. Got some other stuff in his storeroom that we might just decide to take, since we're here. Lockpicks are useless to us, but a few gems. Yeah, I'm not going to say no to a few gems. Some money. We've got good little statues. Booze. Don't mind if I do, actually. Boy, do you want some as well? Why not? Cheese? Oh yeah, we'll definitely take the cheese. So much food. Yes, all of it. All for Neko. This is going to be a whole episode just with inventory management, isn't it? Sorting through all this stuff and getting items. Anyway, here's a lever we can pull. Ah, progress. And a locked door. Hopefully all these locked doors have the same key. No, but we did get a bunch of lockpicks in that previous room, which makes me wonder, is this a lockpickable door? It is. And, oh good, now we've got the room with a bloody pedestal and 2 levers. Well, what did levers do? That one opens the door to the teleporter room. That one opens this wall to the, oh no. Sleep fields. Okay, that's fine. Got a magic bow as loot. We don't really use them, but fine. I want to take all of the fun items. If it is glowy, I want it. And it looks like we could even keep going here and access this other room with these here switches. That one just opens that one. And how interesting, we can't walk to open this lever. We need to go around some other way. Okay, let's just deal with the sleep fields. It's the only way I know how. While the avatar takes a nap, I'm going to open another can of drink. Unmute. Yay. So it doesn't look like there's any oh wait, there we go. Another secret illusory wall. Not taking the teleporter is an option. But there is an invisible wall to the right and an invisible wall to the left. So it looks like we have to go through some teleporters. Okay, before we got to the door, we were teleported again. It looks like Alagna needs to be careful about how he stores his gunpowder. We have a lot of gunpowder at home. So then, okay, we've got choice of left or right teleporter. Let's go left first. Because right back where we were. Therefore, right teleporter. Gives us another lever to switch. Aha, yes, that's progress. And another choice. To the right. Loop around again. The left one go to. Hello. What is happening here?
Warning.
We are getting raided by Galara Dragon. Hello there, Galara. Hi. How are you? How are you doing? Let's get you a shout out or two. If you don't know Galara Dragon, then why on earth are you watching me play Ultima 7? Galara Dragon is a big fan of the Ultima games and does a lot of cool streams. And thank you for following, Giselle. How are you? It is quite hot here. I am, yes. For those of you who don't know me, I'm James Nico. I play DOS games. I occasionally play not DOS games. It's not the only thing I do, but yeah, I just stream a little bit here and there for fun. I have a cat, Poppy, who you can see here on the cat cam. It's getting a bit dark in here. I might put the lights on. Yeah, how are you, Galara? We were doing Ultima stuff and talking a lot about Ultima. Well, perfect. Giselle is the newest Ultima Dragon. Nice. Let me go put the light on so we can see the Poppy cat. And Techie Rob, hello, welcome on in. Sorry, it's always a bit of a bit stunning when I get raided. I'm like, whoa, what is happening? Klodvik? Klodvik, hello, welcome on in. Avuzel, hello. Good to see you all. Kleber. Yes, if you haven't already followed Galara, please do. For many, many good reasons. Where were we? We are at the moment in Alagna's storage room, poking our way through his weird selection of invisible walls and illusory walls and teleporter puzzles and sleep fields to try and get his notebook. And the party is, you'll never guess this, the party is hungry. Good thing we picked up all that cheese and bread and stuff from Lagna's storeroom just now. I'll help myself to the ribs, eat some chicken, yellow, yep, here we go, sentry, some ham. Hop off with some bread if anyone wants it. Oh wow, didn't know you were from Sydney. Yes I am, Avuzel. Where are you from? If you don't mind me asking. Don't go and like dox yourself or anything. There, okay, party is fed. Oh, we accidentally hit the teleporter. That's always fun. So let's take this way back to where we were. Left one. Okay, this'll do. Just need to carefully step around the teleporter. Pretty much the Central Coast. Nice. Very carefully walk around the teleporter. You know, if someone wanted to really secure a location, I mean really properly secure it, all they would have to do is surround it with teleporters. Alright, we made it into the next area, where Alagna's got his storeroom up there, and there is the fabled notebook. A little high up. But just like the blacksmith's intrinsic, we have a means to get up there with all of these chests. It's lived northwest from Sydney. Oh, nice. We have a few other like retro gamers around in Australia. It's nice. It's a very close-knit community, I find. Sacks of flour. We've got some booze. Let's have some more booze. No, thank thee. I guess we're full up. What's Alagna hiding in these chests? Anything useful, or is it just empty? Utensils, clothes and things. Okay, but otherwise pretty boring. Let's put that over there. All we need to do is make a path up onto the desk here. No, come on, onto the... You know what, it's probably easier if I just skip that one entirely. Oh, I forgot we had an Amber Call on my stream. Amber Kitty's here now. Ooh, keys. For those of you who have not met her, my cat Poppy is actually snoozing somehow on this big warm jacket of mine despite the heat. And she mostly features on stream because she's mostly sleeping in the same spot where I can actually put the camera on her. But occasionally, you know, different times of the year, she'll be moving around and it'll be a lot harder to capture properly. Cats will gravitate to soft, warm things. They will. I think they have some special sense of where the warmest, comfiest place in any given location is, because they just immediately go straight to it. Build a little staircase here. I wonder how many people, after doing this puzzle, then went back to Trinsic and said, oh, wait a second, there's so many chests here, what if, you know, just for fun, we went onto the roof of the blacksmiths? Alright. We've got another locked chest here. Okay, fine. He's given us the key, so I'm sure he's fine with us just opening this and taking everything out from it. No, it's still locked. There we go. Alright, we've got a wand and some sleeping powder, which is very effective. I'll sort that out later, off stream, wink wink. We've got some cash, don't mind if I do. And, ooh yes, more spellcasting reagents. We definitely want those. We don't have any way to just cast without any reagents in this. We will get that in Ultima 7 Part 2, the Serpentile. One of my favourite items. But for now, we just need to hoard all of these ingredients. I don't remember finding this room. I definitely didn't find the blacksmith's secret room on my own. It's a funny one, Galara. I don't remember reading any sort of strategy guide or hints guide for Ultima 7, because back in the day, you know, I wasn't online, so the best information I would have had would have been from magazines. But one day I was just looking at the roof and I was like, huh, I want to get on that roof, and huh, I could do that if I stacked these crates. Yeah, just maybe like weird psychic knowledge of the cheat location. Yeah, something just drew me to it. I don't know why. There's a few other secret locations in Serpentile that me and my sister had similar feelings about, but we'll get to those. Anyway, we've got some potions, which are nice. Pretty sure I'd read about it on Usenet. Yeah, well, I had no internet access. At the best, we had a bit of dial-up BBS access. So yeah, it's like back in the day, like games were really hard, and you had no choice really but to just muddle through it. Here we go. Here is Alagna's notebook. Let's have a read. We're going to give it to the Wisps, then we may as well know what's inside it, right? My Notebook by Alagna. These are my observations concerning the organization known as the Fellowship. Although the Fellowship portends to be a group of optimists with a philosophy called Triad of Inner Strength, there are many fallacies which can be gleaned by careful examination of the group's values. The first value is strive for unity. This implies that we should all work together in harmony and towards one goal in life. However, careful examination of this tenet reveals that members of the Fellowship consider themselves an elite group, and a prejudicial one at that. They tend to believe that if one is not for them, then they are indeed against them. And if one is against them, then may fortune be with that person, for he or she may very well come to a bad end. Second value is trust thy brother. This implies that each member trusts implicitly other Fellowship members, and that each will do favors or deeds for another without question. On the other hand, this might mean that a member should do what another says regardless of the implications of the act. In other words, do as I say and do not question it, seems to be the underlying subtext of this tenet. The third value is worthiness precedes reward. If one does good deeds for the Fellowship, then one will be rewarded. The other side of the coin, of course, is that if one does not do good deeds for the Fellowship, then one shall get his just reward. In the Fellowship, a reward can be either good or bad. The Fellowship has been duping the masses of Britannia now for 20 years. They are becoming stronger and stronger. After careful study, I have come to the conclusion that the group is serving some higher, malevolent entity, referred to by the organization's inner circle as the Guardian. More information needs to be obtained about the Guardian, but I am certain that he is very dangerous. The Fellowship seems to be organized into 3 distinct grades of members. Grade 1 consists of the general masses of naive innocents who have joined, thinking that their pathetic little lives will be helped in some way. Grade 2 consists of the various branch leaders who make up the inner circle of the Fellowship leaders. There is also a Grade 3, those Fellowship leaders who are in administrative positions within the group, men such as Batlin and the mysterious couple Elizabeth and Abraham, who travel the country distributing the Fellowship's funds. Not much is known about these two. It is said they are twins, brother and sister. I believe that the few Grade 3 members are in direct communication with the Guardian, and believe they will be serving as his lieutenants should the Guardian ultimately gain power in the land. Already, the Guardian is promising to be a powerful threat. Magic in Britannia has taken a turn for the worse in the past few years. I believe that the Guardian has done something to cause this malady. Not many people have noticed that Britannia's problem with moongates, their being so unreliable, occurred around the same time. It follows that the Guardian is most likely responsible for this serious plague. The Guardian also possesses some kind of power which allows him to speak to and charm native innocents, so that they will gladly join the Fellowship and become Grade 1 members. These unfortunate lambs will most likely become the Guardian's slaves should he ever become into power. After I have obtained enough proof of my theories concerning the Fellowship, I shall present this notebook to Lord British himself and rid Britannia of these very dangerous, lying fascists. Alrighty, that's the notebook. Seems pretty important. Maybe we should just take it to Lord British right now and say, hey, I'm the Avatar. I've witnessed these things myself. Let's disband the Fellowship. That would work, right? I'm sure it would. But we did promise to bring it to the Wisps, so maybe we should do that. If we can get out of here. Haha! Okay, we're free, we're free. Funny, we didn't actually end up using these switches at all. And this one doesn't seem to do anything. Alright. Off we go to speak with the Wisps. And, yeah, Galara, I assume you must have gotten in there to get the notebook. Since it is plot critical and all. Nice, soothing music to go with our epic flying carpet journey. Lord British always listens. Yup. Totally. Actually, we are in Britain now. Should we give it a go? Yeah, let's give it a go. We land in the courtyard, or is that expecting too much of this flying carpet? Ah! Right next to the fountain. What a parking job. Yo, Kingy! Kingy, where are you, Kingy? I'm not here asking you to resurrect someone for once. In your bedroom, Kingy? In the conference room? Yeah, there you are. I have urgent news. Yes, Poggers? Lord British asks. It's about this fellowship. They're an extremely useful and productive group of citizens. Thou shouldst most certainly visit the Fellowship headquarters here in Britain and speak with Batlin. The Fellowship has done many good deeds throughout Britannia, including feeding the poor, educating and helping those in need, and promoting general goodwill and peace. Yeah, about Batlin. He's a druid who began the Fellowship around 20 years ago. He's highly intelligent and a warm and gentle human being. Uh-huh. Yeah, sure thou shouldst. Yeah, anyway. Goodbye, fuckers. Do come back soon. Well, we tried. I guess we'll have to uncover the root of this evil organization ourselves. We should just need to go north from here. Oh, you can hear the sirens in the distance now, I think. They've come for me. It's all over. Let it be known that I went out how I would want it, live on Twitch. No option to say, hey, here's what I read in the notebook. Yeah. Suppose we need better proof. Where are we at now? Went a bit too far north there. Oh, more headless. And that looks like part of you that we're flying over there. Yep, that's the trainer. So this way. Oh, if you hit the mountain, you've gone too far south. Where are we? Here we go. Need to park carefully. I do not believe that we can land here safely. Okay, yep, that's here. I do not believe that we can land here safely. Okay, thanks, Yellow. What about here? Alright, this should be a quick one. We'll just give them the notebook, we'll get the thing we wanted. No problemo. Imp whistle. Once again, a local manifestation addresses the Zoranite dimension. What's your name? Are you still Xanthia? Or whatever it was? No, Xanthia is from the other game. Highest probabilities indicate that a manifestation from the Zoranite dimension will be called Wisp by the entities known as humans. I am also called Zorina by other manifestations of the Zoranite dimension. Cool. We brought the notebook you wanted. The human entity is welcomed by Zorina. You have brought the item notebook. I shall now absorb the information contained therein. The wisp glows brightly for a few seconds. The notebook remains in your possession. I have completed my absorption of the information. You may now return the item notebook to the entity Alagna. And now for the exchange of information and a delivery of a message. Thank you. What's this information? Now for the information you seek. This dimension, known as Britannia, is under attack by an entity called the Guardian. The Guardian lives in another dimension. Zorina sometimes trades information with this entity. Do you want to know more about the Guardian? Is it a freebie, or do I have to get you some more literature? Zorina has digested information about the Guardian and can state the following facts. What could possibly go wrong? Right, Kalara? It's fine. They're just an information broker. The Guardian possesses qualities which human entities label vain, greedy, egocentric, and malevolent. The Guardian thrives on power and domination. The Guardian takes pleasure from conquering other worlds. Harmless interdimensional entities, exactly. His sensory organs are now focused on this dimension known as Britannia. The Guardian is attempting to enter this dimension by means of an item human entities call a moongate. This moongate is not a red color or blue color moongate, which Zorina, oh the quotes, there's so many quotes, knows is the standard form of this item. The Guardian is building a moongate of the color black. The Black Gate, you say? Roll credits. The Black Gate will be fully functional when the phenomenon known as astronomical alignment next occurs. Although Zorina does not normally seek to influence actions of other manifestations, Zorina warns you that if the Guardian enters this dimension, it will be the end of the dimension known as Britannia. Title drop. The Guardian is powerful in his dimension. In your dimension, he will be unstoppable. I don't know, he'll probably just sit on a throne for a while until we walk up to him. The Undrian Council sincerely hopes this information is useful. Transaction complete. That was the cool thing, tracking the progress of the alignment with the orrery. Yeah, like, it's handy that we happen to have a magical view into the astronomical alignment. Because otherwise, it's not like you can just look up. So you also had a message for us. Zorina must deliver a message to you. The entity known as Time Lord requests your audience. Time Lord is trapped in Disney Plus. Is trapped at the plane known as the Shrine of Spirituality. You can reach him by using your object, Orb of the Moons, in the location directly to your northwest. That's it? Okay, thanks. Anything more about the Time Lord that we've probably heard before? The entity known as Time Lord is a being from the space-time dimension. The Zoranite dimension has been communicating with Time Lord for what humans call centuries. Alright, cool. Bye then. Don't pass on that information from the notebook to anyone else. It's strictly confidential. I'm sure you understand. Bye. Zorina always welcomes the exchange of information. Farewell. Alright, so I guess we'll just use the carpet and fly back to Alagna real quick. It doesn't take very long. We'll just drop his notebook off, and then we'll get on with this Time Lord business, yeah? I suppose if I really wanted to cheese it, I could have used Mark and Recall, and we could just teleport back to Alagna. But there's no rush, right? I'm sure he's fine. Yeah, I'm sure he's fine with the car, right? He's fine! Oh, wait, what was that? Hi? Some mountaineers there, I guess. Paladin. What's a paladin? Mage, fighter. That's weird. Where are we? So we're in Cove. Oh, this is, this must be above the Hall of the Dead. And for whatever reason, these three have not been taken to the Hall of the Dead properly. And, sitting on top of the Hall of the Dead. Fascinating. Okay. Random bodies that froze to death. Oh, he'll be happy to have his notebook back. Yeah, let's step on it. Just, get there ASAP. Where are we? Yeah, okay. Seems whenever I pull the map up, the yellow cross that indicates our current location is always right on top of the yellow banner that says Britannia. Okay, yep, bodies, I remember those. And, park here. I do not believe that we can land here safely. Okay. Here. Alagna, we're back. Sorry.
Thank you for the information in the notebook, Avatar. It was most useful.
Oh no. You need the sextant to get the locator on the map. Yes, or you can be a filthy cheater like me, Galara, and just use F3. I have a sextant back at home. It's fine. I theoretically have the ways to get my position. But, oh no, what has happened here? Sure enough, there is another brutal murder here and another bucket of blood to add to our collection. Yeah, he's been killed. Who done it? Oh, that's right. Didn't he tell us that he had this whole crystal ball thing that just records his daily life, and we could go, like, look at it and see what he was up to yesterday? Let's solve this mystery right now. Aha! So conveniently, his home security system has recorded the killer is at work. And it's a man with a hook, Elizabeth and Abraham and Forskis, although we don't know that yet, but it's them what done it. Well, let's put these candles out. Don't want to start a fire. That would be unsafe. And as for his notebook, I mean, I guess we'll just add it to our collection of stuff at home. It's a bit of sorting. We can leave the key here because we don't need that anymore. Is there anything else that Alagna doesn't need anymore? Another potion or two. I guess that's nice. I'm hoarding potions way too much. Like, I'm hardly ever using them. More explosives. Some food. I mean, the food will go to waste, right? This food here in this chest will just rot if we leave it right there, so, we'll take it with us. It's what he would have wanted. And he's got a bunch of other stuff here. Oh yeah, fire wand, sure. We're kind of stuck to the gills with wands already. Equipment, clothing. Very nice shelves. If we do get into building our own house, we'll probably steal these shelves. They're pretty. If we don't just straight up move into this guy's house. Horskis, but yeah, you find out about him later. Alright, well, whoops. That happened. I suppose we should go talk to the Time Lord, then. So apparently, we can reach the Time Lord by using our Orb of the Moons directly to the northeast of us. I think it was northeast. And I suppose we could have done this at any time. In fact, I'm fairly sure I did it deliberately on purpose at some point. But now that we're aware of it, it takes us to this place. Which is once again hidden in the mountains somewhere, just for fun. But let's pretend that it's on a different plane of existence. Nice little shrine of spirituality here. Oh yes. And this guy. Hi. See a vaguely familiar but intimidating figure enclosed in some kind of cylindrical cell. He looks at you intently. Been many years since we met during the time of Exodus. I have never wanted to see thee again as badly as most recently. It is about time thou shouldst arrive. Is that a pun? Because you're the Time Lord. I do not have errors to waste while I wait for thee. There is a crisis, and Britannia needs thine help. I need thine help. The entire universe needs thine help. No pressure. And what is your name, sir? I am known as the Time Lord. What is it you do? You just lord over time? Just being wealthy? I ensure that time flows smoothly through space. He shrugs his shoulders. Do not ask me to explain this. It is beyond mortal beings' comprehension. Uh-huh. Sounds like you do nothing. And what do you mean it's about time? If you're the Time Lord, then isn't it always just exactly the time you want? It was I who sent the Red Moon Gate to thine homeland to lure thee to Britannia. Took every bit of my strength to make it functional, and still something went wrong. Thou didst arrive intrinsic, which was not mine intention. It has therefore taken thee much longer to reach me than I anticipated. Once thou did arrive in Britannia, the only other way I could contact thee was via the Wisps. After the considerable rest I had since creating the Red Moon Gate, I managed to repair the one Orb of the Moon's location that would bring thee to me. I cannot roam freely through time and space doing my work whilst I am trapped here. What sort of crisis? Well, what about the Wisps first? Why them, huh? Oddly aloof creatures. They have made good messages in the past. So what brings us here? The land is under attack by a powerful and malicious being from another dimension, and thou art the only one who can stop him. I have been trapped here by a trick, due to a sorcery which the Guardian has performed. The Guardian has put a wrinkle in the space-time continuum by creating a powerful generator, which has made the Moon Gates and thine own Orb of the Moons mostly inoperable. Thou must free me, and we must work together in battling the Guardian. The fate of the people depends upon it. Dost thou accept? I don't know, let me think about it. No! Then thou should be doomed to never finish thy quest. Art thou sure? I give thee one more chance. Dost thou want to help? No! Then farewell, Avatar. Leave now. Thou wilt come back when thou dost realize it is thy destiny to help thee. Help me. I don't suppose it's given us the... no, it hasn't given us the craziness dialogue. Hast thou decided if thou wilt help me? Okay, fine. The Time Lord looks relieved. Then I have a mission for thee. What mission is it? I knew thou wouldst not let me down. Go at once to the Serpent's Spine area. Search for the entrance to a dungeon somewhere northwest of Britain. I believe it may be called Dungeon Despise. This will lead thee to the generator causing the problem. If mine hunch is correct, it will resemble a large sphere. Thou must find a way to destroy it. It may have a defense mechanism. If thou canst not conquer it, return here and describe the defense to me. Perhaps I can help thee more. It might be wise to use the spells Mark and Recall to save thyself the trouble of finding thy way through the entire dungeon a second time, shouldst thou have to travel there again. A sphere, you say? It is a magic generator that the Guardian was able to send from his world. Its purpose is to disable the moon gates. Thou must break its outer defense and enter the structure, taking the smaller sphere floating inside. Keep the small sphere, as it will be useful later. Okay. Farewell, Avatar. Good luck to thee. So, we already seen one of these generators before. We've seen the tetrahedron generator, and we fixed that one already. We're getting back onto the main questline track as it's supposed to be done here. But we're supposed to go check out the sphere generator first. And sure enough, it's going to be defended. And then we're going to need help bypassing the defenses. But to get help bypassing the defenses, we need to talk to Mariah. And she's crazy because of the magical ether distortions. So we need to fix those first, so we end up destroying the tetrahedron generator, so that we can get Mariah's help to eventually get to the sphere generator. And that's why when we woke her up, she asked if, like, who sent us here? Was it Nicodemus or the Time Lord? And we were like, haven't met either of them. But we're getting there. I mean, this is the way I stumbled across the main plot back in the day anyway. And it's a perfectly normal way to approach it, really. It saves you a bit of time with all the enormous tangents. And of course we parked our carpet in New Maginsia, so now we need to get back there somehow through Moongates. This is Cove. Wait, Carlfishy, you're a dragon, aren't you? I would imagine he is. I myself signed up for the Ultima Dragons a long, long time ago, not with the online handle I use these days. Ow. This is Trinsic. Is this New Maginsia? Yes. If he's a Eurydice member, he joined like a month after I did. Ah. Bodies. Wow, you have a better memory than me. Yeah, it's not bad. Just from spying someone's Twitch username. Alright, so off to the sphere generator, I guess. Unless we did go in that dungeon earlier. Maybe I did do a little sneaky mark and recall. Or maybe I just went in there for some other reason, I forget. We went into Dungeon Despise, we definitely did. We just didn't go all the way down to the sphere generator area. Oh, that's right, we went there because there's a way to access that little fort with the mage, Selwyn, and those other people who are planning to overthrow the government. And we went there to get all of their loot and magical items. Where are we at? Here we go. Do you remember your dragon name, James Necker? It would have been Spoon Dragon, a very, very early online handle that I'd picked just because it was something available. Tick, yeah, the tick. And I think it was linked to my old jamesc@yahoo.com email account because that was the one I had back in the day. But I think I had a Hotmail as well. It's been so long. Is this the way in? Yes, this was the way in. Here's where we got the carpet originally. Hooray. Before I land, let me just check, because I have a little list of where I've marked and recalled. And I can check to see if we actually just have a convenient recall location preordained for the dungeon. No, we've got one for the tetrahedron generator, but not for the sphere. Last couple parking outside Wisp House. Selwyn's Fort Despise, Castle, Penumbra. Yeah. Picked because of the tick. I found you. You joined August 1st, 1998. Wow. That was a long time ago. 22 years. Yep. I don't think I've spent time on AG, but I booked in a few times. Long enough to join anyway. Yeah, like back in the day I wasn't particularly online because we relied on family internet and dial-up, and you know how that is. You have to carefully pre-plan what kind of sites you're going to visit in the hour of time that you're going to get while nobody's able to use the telephone line. So I didn't do a whole lot of Usenet or anything like that. Anyway, let's park the carpet and we can... I do not believe that we can land here safely. We can use mark and recall a bit to remember where we parked. Johnny, you've got the stones, right? So let's use blue to mark the carpet location, because it's blue. Failed. I thought we fixed the magical ether. Oh, that's our potions. Am I not clicking the right thing? Is it because I'm standing on a little bit of carpet there? Book. Stones. Mark. That's better. So, we got that one. And then we can use another stone once we're at the sphere generator. Honestly, I wouldn't mind calling it 22 years, because the whole 2020 thing has just been this big smear of one long year that it's impossible to escape from. Alright, so we need to carefully make our way around this way, I think. But this place is full of teleport problems. Teleporter things. So there is actually a way specifically around it. Rats. I think around the same time I was hanging out on the IRC channel of Alpha and Dragons. This is a persistent dragon theme. Yeah. I was always just reading up about this fancy new thing called Ultima Online and how amazing it was and how I'm probably never going to actually get to play it. Oh, okay, we teleport that way, and then I think we teleport... I think we walk down this way. Get teleported. Okay, now we're on the right track, yes. Been here before. So this was the little tower we raided previously. And there's all their bodies. I don't think we left anything much that we want to loot again, so that's fine. We can go find this sphere generator and give it a poke. To save as well, actually. Oh yeah, and I know several Ultima dragons who frequented Alt-Fan dragons too. Saving. There we go. Onward. Keep an eye out for these invisible caltrops. There we go, just as I was saying it. I don't know which horrible person decided that they wanted to make invisible caltrops a thing. But there you go, they've left their mark everywhere in dungeons all over Britannia. Ah, hello. A bunch of fire. This looks promising. Oh, and it's tanking the frame rate. Let's bump up the cycles a little bit. It's kind of how I end up being a fish, because being a goldfish surrounded by dragons was funny. Okay, so that's a bunch of fire, and there's a bunch of sleep fields and poison fields. Oh, sorry, YOLO. And our frame rate's back to normal again, so let's pull it back down to 25%. So, that right there is a sphere generator. I'd know one if I saw one. It's the most elusive fish. And there's a moon gate right there. So I assume we can just... Yep, walk straight through it, it's fine. That's not supposed to happen. That's really not supposed to happen. Kind of want to save here, actually. So due to maybe DOSBox or frame rates or just plain blind luck, I have walked through the moon gate that was supposed to teleport us backwards. And we could walk straight into the sphere generator right now and do this puzzle, I suppose. Oh look, I've done it. And that's broken that. Congratulations. Guardian engineered the sphere such that destruction has permanently disabled moon gates, blah 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 blah. That's wow, this is a big lore dump. Yeah, look, I was just showing people that shouldn't be the order of events here. You left a small sphere. Thank you, Sentry. We're supposed to do... Yes. We're supposed to do a quest line to do this. Let's load. Because although that would be funny to just kind of speedrun the game by not having to get the Enchanted Hourglass off of Nicodemus, I don't want to break any more quest lines than I already have. There we go. Oh no, the Moongate teleports us backwards. Amazing. How will we bypass this trap? Same way we did before, I guess. Yeah, I guess it's just possible to run straight through it. Let's use Mark and Recall again to mark this spot. And I guess we'll give it the... we use for the tetrahedron generator, green, so we'll overwrite that one. Green is dungeon... sphere. Right, so now we just need to go back to the Time Lord and say, hey, we can't get through it. It's impossible. Help, what do we do?
not going to trust the Time Lord, are you? Careful, my friend. Do not believe him.
I mean, if a voice in my head tells me to, then yeah. How may I help thee, Avatar? The Time Lord asks. I don't know what happened to my voice just then. There's a moon gate in the way. The sphere's outer defense sends thy party back to a specific position in space. Until this defense is broken, thou canst not enter the generator. Thou must find Nicodemus's hourglass. If I am correct in mine hypothesis, the sphere's inner defense will involve moon gates. Look for a visual pattern to help thee solve this mystery. What hourglass? It is an enchanted hourglass which will help thee if it is used at the site of the sphere. Once I am free of the power of the generator, thou canst summon me by using the hourglass. Plasy, plasy, hour, plasy. Unfortunately, Galara, we've already fixed the magical ether, so we don't get to talk to the insane Nicodemus. I mean, what hourglass? He is a mage that lives west of the Forest of Yew. West of me? No, you. We saw the sphere. It's a magic generator that the Guardian was able to send from his world. Its purpose is to disable the moon gates. Thou must break its outer defense and enter the structure, taking the smaller sphere floating inside. Keep the small sphere, as it will be useful later. Alright, I guess we go talk to Nicodemus about his hourglass then. Farewell, Avatar. Good luck to thee. Which, of course, is the long series of quest lines. So once again, we have to leave via Moongate, but we can use Recall at least to get back to where we parked the carpet. We could just take Moongates to travel around and get to Nicodemus, but they're not going to work for much longer, so... Magic was supposed to be reliable now. Not this one. Alright. We need to talk to a mage about an hourglass. He'll have it on hand, he'll give it to us. We'll bypass this sphere problem. Easy peasy. We'll be back before breakfast. Let's hope Nicodemus isn't in one of his steely moods. But it seems like it's quite late at night, which is a good thing. Hello, Too seldom? Too seldom, welcome on in. Thank you for the follow. Yo, Nicodemus. Wakey, wakey. Wake up. Hello. Away with thee. Hello again, Poggers, says Nicodemus. We spoke to the Time Lord. I have not spoken to the Time Lord in months. How is the old codger? Give him my regards. Tell him I miss our night's bridge games. We wanted your hourglass. Mine old hourglass. Of course I remember it. I believe I sold it to an antique dealer in Paws. I might be able to re-enchant it if thou wouldst bring it to me. Antique dealer in Paws. Okay. Bye. Goodbye, Poggers. What level are we at, actually? Level 7. Let's buy some spells while we're here. Hello again, Poggers, says Nicodemus. What is it you do? Why, to perform magic. It seems that the disturbance in the ether has been repaired. I can also sell thee some reagents or spells. We have 2 more dragons here. Turns out Neko joined us in 1998, and Carl Fisher here in the chat joined us just a month after I did. Yeah, I can't really say that I'm a proper, like, card-carrying dragon, because I really just joined up a long, long time ago, and haven't really interacted with the community a whole lot, other than continuing to love the Ultima series. But yeah, there you go. Dragons. Let's get some spells. Dost thou wish to buy some spells? Yes. In which circle dost thou wish to study? The 7th circle. What spell wouldst thou like to buy? I literally made UIDC cards tonight. Wow! Okay, I think I might have already bought this, but if we don't have it, then it would still be nice to have. I'd like to buy Deathbolt, please. Deathbolt spell will cost thee 155 gold. Agreeable? Yes. I'll just already have that spell. Ah, okay, we do. Excellent. You can pour all the things. So we just need to zip over to pause, get the sound glass, get it re-enchanted, we'll do the sphere dungeon, and then we'll call it a stream after we defeat the sphere dungeon. I think that would be a good place to pause it. Oh, wolves outside Yolo's house. You don't need a membership card, they're just for fun. Well, exactly. I mean, I might like to get my membership in the form of a gold plaque that I could hang above a door. Here we go, we've arrived at Pause. Good old Pause. Remember this place? I do not believe that we can land here safely. Gold plaques. Yeah, of course. They're great. Very safe. Hello. Are you awake? Wake up. Morning. Morning. You're blind anyway, so you don't know that it's not morning. Why, hello again, my lady. It is so good to see thee, says Beverly. What's your name? My name is Beverly. And what do you do? Why, I run the House of Items here in Pause. Yes, we'll totally listen to a 13-year-old for his landing location advice. House of Items, you say? There's a shop that sells antiques and previously used items. Running this shop allows me to remain youthful and active. It's heartening to sell things to the poor people of this town that they might not otherwise be able to afford. I want to buy stuff. My store is now closed. I'm usually open in the afternoons. Okay, bye. Good day to thee, my lady. Alright, fine. We'll take a room at this inn here. This here, right? Yeah. Hey, wake up. Wake up. I want a room. Wake up. Wake up. Is this annoying you? Wake up. We want a room. Hello. Begone, fool. Okay, here we go. Polly smiles. What can I do for thee, my lady? The thief. What is it you do? The owner and proprietor of the Salty Dog, the finest eating and drinking establishment in all of Pause, at their service. However, the Salty Dog is now closed. Please return during business hours. Well, can't you rent us a room? Okay, fine. Good day to thee, my lady. I guess we're gonna crash at the Fellowship Hall. Pick my usual bed that I wake up from after dying. In how many hours shall we wake thee up, Poggers? Yeah, probably give it like a good 10 or so, I guess. Pleasant dreams. Arise, Poggers. Time to continue the quest. Alright, let's see which of my companions need revivifying. Okay, it's the boy. Jana has gone to 95 hit points, which is acceptable. But the boy is on negative 121, which is a bit low. Looks a bit pale. We might have to give him a bit of a heal spell. Not a great heal. Can't heal him to max. That would be bad. But we can give him a regular old heal, and that should fix him up nicely. There we go. And now, of course, everyone is starving, so let's have a seat and get us some food. I cannot wait to play Serpentile. Absolutely cannot wait. I mean, I intend to take a little break in between Blackgate and Serpentile, and I'm not sure what kind of form that break's going to take yet. Are we going to play something longer, or are we going to just play a few little things here and there? But just the ability to use the F key to feed people would be so nice. Alright, let's get Beverly's hourglass there, and we can get it enchanted. Beverly, are you awake? Are you selling your goods? Why, hello again, milady. It is so good to see thee, says Beverly. What is it you do? Why, I run the House of Items here in Paws. House of Items here in Paws? It is a shop that sells antiques and previously used items. Running this shop allows me to remain youthful and active. It's heartening to sell things to the poor people of this town that my might sort of whatever. Yes, we want to buy stuff. There are many rare and fine things to be bought here in my shop. Bargains to be had nowhere else in all of Britannia. What sort of things? Let me see. There's a cradle for sale, a rocking horse, a bell, an hourglass, a spittoon, a lute, a sextant. Since I am moving a bit more slowly these days, I let my customers help themselves and take what they have bought. Providing they pay me first, of course. I do trust folks to pay me the correct amount. I am nearly blind, I'm afraid. Cool. Let's buy the hourglass, please. We could just take it, but we are a virtuous avatar, mostly, some of the times when it suits us, and we can afford a bit of gold here for this poor old lady. I also have an antique hourglass. It was sold to me by this old man who was so daft that he could not recall how to use it. I will sell it to thee for 5 gold pieces. Dost thou wish to buy it? Can we haggle? Fine, 5. I thank thee. Thou mayest take the glass. Well, what else do we want to get while we're here? Get another sextant, I suppose, or a bell. No, this is fine. Bye. Good day to thee, milady. So there's our hourglass. Normal, mundane, non-magical item. 5 gold pieces. What a rip-off, right? The economy here in Britannia is a bit weird. Anyway, we've got it. We'll take it back to Nicodemus. He'll throw some magic on it. Or alternatively, our game could crash. Just as we're getting stuff sorted. Okay, this is fine. It's fine. Please entertain yourself with this cute kitty while I restart the game. Yes, talking to you. Hello. Puppy. Well, we had a save that was just after... We had a save. I forget exactly where it is, but we can speed through the bits that we needed to instead of flying. It's fine. Let's go back to the game. It was a lot more stable, I remember. Okay, so we made a save here at the Sphere Gen. James! Hey, Empress, how are you doing? My game just crashed. Was it you? Was it you tuning into my stream that caused my game to crash? With that technical difficulties aura that you have. Good to see you anyway. How are you doing? Give yourself a shout out, why don't you? You're going away for a while, so you've got how many streams left in you before your holiday? James, I hear nothing. Well, my mic's gone up and down, and other people have heard me so far, so I assume... You? I hear you! Hey, excellent. As I was saying, technical difficulties. Hello, Queen of Technical Difficulties. You've come in just as my game crashed, so I wonder if that was you, and you are to blame. My headphones weren't connected. Well, there's your problem. I need to basically speedrun a bunch of stuff to get us back up to where we were before the game crashed. Hi, that's me, yes, Queen of Technical Difficulties. So, we talked to the Time Lord. Most likely,
You are not going to trust the Time Lord, are you? Careful, my friend. Do not believe
I
him.
want to feel alone in the Technicalities universe. It's cold over here. Also, hi everyone. It is cooling down here nicely now. It was a bit hot for my liking earlier, and I don't like to be hot. How may I help thee? Moongate. Sphere is out of defense since I party back to the Sphere return to base. I'm told this defense is broken, now I can send to the generator. That must find Nicodemus' hourglass. Cool. Moongate's visual pattern by... Oh wait, where's Nicodemus? He's the mage that lives west of the Forest of Yew. Me? No, you. Bye. Okay. So then we went to Yew. We landed inside a mountain. Rip. We went to Yew. We got tickets to see Liverpool. Nice. Hello again, Poggers, says Nicodemus. Hourglass. Why not Hourglass? Of course I remember it. I saw this soldier antique dealer in Paws. I might be able to re-enchant it though, so bring it to me. Okay, bye. Goodbye, Poggers. Antique dealer in Paws. Except it's late at night. And I'm lost. There. She's asleep. Fine, we'll actually do this properly. August. 12 hours. Pleasant dreams. Okay. Boy in coma. Cast heal spell. So we need to get you back up to... What are his hit points now? Because... Negative 117, yeah. Still pretty unhealthy. But it's a bit random as to what you end up on. Heal the boy. Alright, let's go. He does this sometimes. He's not actually, like, in the party. I mean, he's in the party, but he's not in the party. Yes, Poggers, Spark asks. What dost thou want? I need you to leave. Don't make me go, Spark cries. Dost thou really want me to go? He looks at you with puppy dog eyes. Yes. Well, should I just wait here, or dost thou want me to go home to Trinsic? Wait here. All right, I shall wait here until thou dost return and ask me to rejoin. Okay. Yes, Poggers, Spark asks. What dost thou want? Rejoin. 'Tis about time thou dost ask again. Hooray! Bye. All right, I will speak with thee later. Now he's following us properly. Now we feed the hungry party. Just quickly speeding through all the stuff we missed due to the crash. And things up, get back on the main plot. Alright, Beverly, your hourglass. Hi. Why, hello again, my lady. It's so good to see thee, says Beverly. What do you do? Why, I run the House of Items here in Paws. House of Items. It is a shop that sells antiques and previously used items. Running this shop allows me to remain youthful and active. It is hard to sell things to the poor people of this town that might not otherwise be afford. Buy stuff. There are many rare and fine things to be bought here in my shop. Bargains to be had nowhere else in all of Britannia. Many fine things? Let me see. There's a cradle for sale, a rocking horse, a bell, an hourglass, a spittoon, a lute, a sextant. Since I'm moving in more slowly these days, I let my customers help themselves and take what they bought. Providing they pay me first, of course. I do trust folks to pay me the correct amount. I am never mind, I'm afraid. Sextant. No, wait. I'm just instinctively clicking on sextant. I have a sextant that was sold by the world-famous shipwright Owen of Minnock. Oh, it probably doesn't work then. They're going to be building a monument to him, I understand. Anyway, the sailor who sold it to me had just suffered some harrowing experience out on the waters. He said when he sold it to me that he was going to retire. He obviously did not realize the value of this item. But I can let thee have it for 20 gold pieces. Dost thou wish to buy it? No. I'm certain I have something that will interest thee. Browse to thy heart's content. Hourglass. I also have an interesting hourglass. I will sell it for 5 gold pieces. Yes. I thank thee. Thou mayst take thy glass. Bye. Good day, thee, my lady. Hourglass get. Bring it back to Nicodemus. Oh no, he's in steal mode. Despite having cured the mages of Britannia and having fixed the magical ether so that they're no longer mad, it seems Nicodemus, being a thief sometimes, is just part of his personality. So he might have taken something from us, I'm not sure. If it was anything, it was probably just a bit of gold. But unlike the other guy that we had thieving from us, Craig, can't exactly kill Nicodemus, at least not right now until he's done this for us. Why don't we, in part of fixing our game, grab the magic carpet and properly bring it to you as we were doing previously before everything crashed. And then we're basically back where we're supposed to be. More of those damn wisps. You know what, actually, while we're in you... No, I mean you. While we're here, there's those 2 trainers. And I thought it would be funny if we got this guy to give Iolo a bit of training. I do not believe that we can land here safely. Because I think... I mean, Iolo is one of the few members of our party that has not been boosted with drugs. So he has 3 training points available that we could use to boost his stats. And wouldn't it be kind of funny if we got this guy, Bradman, to train him? Because Bradman moved to the Forest of Yew specifically to be near Iolo, because Iolo is the master bowyer. Bradman greets you. Hail, my lady. What is it you do? Why, it is my job to train the many who visit you to become more agile. Ah, yes, he's a scrum master. I remember now. What do you think about you? I love the forest. It's very beautiful. Also, he raises his bow, I moved out here to be near the 2 great archers, Iolo and Ceramed. Iolo blushes. I am honored, my friend. I was not aware I had an admirer in this part of the land. He bows to Bradman, who returns the gesture. Cool. Can you train this old guy of mine? If thou wantest to train, my charge is 30 gold. Art thou still interested? Yes. Which of you wishes to train? Iolo does. He's terrible. I cannot charge a master such as thyself full price. You pay 15 gold, and the training session begins. Iolo and Bradman spend some time taking target practice with the bow. Shortly, Iolo notices a significant increase in hand-eye coordination. Thank you, bye. May the trees part around thee, my lady. So his stats are now what? Oh, it's only taken 2 training points off of him. Probably this wasn't optimal, but who cares? We're getting closer to the end of the game now. His combat score has gone up by 2, which is good. And dexterity's gone up, I think. Alright, let's check in on our old mad friend Nicodemus, and hopefully he won't be in a stealing mood. I do not believe that we can land here safely. How about on the chessboard? I do not believe that we can land here safely. Here. I do not believe that we can land here safely. Fine. I do not believe that we can land here safely. Here. Here. This patch is nice and green. Done. Enchant your hourglass. Alright, let's do this. And then, uh-oh. Yeah, he's following us. What time is it? And can we just... I suppose we only need to talk to him if I just get the timing right. And yell at him across the field. Demas, where are you? Hey, Dangerous Dave, how are you? We are attempting to talk to a mage who is possibly trying to steal from us. No, don't. That might just be Wanda. No, he's stealing. Stop it, stop it. What they're doing? No. How are you doing, mate? Takes off jacket. Yeah, welcome on in. It is actually cooling down a little bit now that the sun's gone down at last. But of course I'm also running out of energy myself, so we'll see how we go. We just need to defeat this sphere generator that is causing the problems with the moon gates, and then the problems with the moon gates will vanish. But so will the moon gates. Hello again, Poggers, says Nicodemus. Could you enchant this hourglass? I would be most happy to enchant the hourglass. After freeing the ether, I am most indebted to thee. Let me see it. Nicodemus takes the hourglass and studies it for a moment. He sets it on a table and closes his eyes, concentrating. He intones a few words, throws some reagents into the air, and passes his hand over the artifact. That should do it. He hands the hourglass back to you. Thanks, that's all I needed. Bye. Goodbye, Poggers. Alright, let's run away. I want to save and basically show, find out what he's been stealing from us. Not so hot over the side of the Tasman River today. That's good. Yeah, it really sucks to me that, work makes me take 2 weeks off around the Christmas shutdown period. And it's nice to have the time off, but I would like to have the time off when it's not incredibly hot outside and I could maybe do things. But instead, I just end up cooped up inside for the whole time with the air conditioning on full blast. Alright, so we've saved. There is a cheat that we've got, which is Alt and 4. Not F4, but Alt and the regular 4 key, which will cause an object to be relieved of its contents. So here we can see that I think this is his staff, and that's probably our gold. Probably his knife and cleaver and hammer, and probably one of our bee stingers. I don't know what attracts the thief NPCs to these things, but they do like to steal them. They probably stole 100 gold coins from us. Oh well. What's interesting is he doesn't actually have any magical spell items on him. He's just relying on this Fire Doom stuff, I guess. When you dump the contents of some of the random mages you might find in dungeons or in woods, you often find that they drop a spell, as in like a literal spell object, like a paralyze spell or a fireball spell. And that's how the game gets them to cast these things. They just use it as a weapon. And you can use it as a weapon too, and it's very cool. Might get into that later once we finish the game and just derp around doing random things. But for now, let's reload. We'll let him steal the 100 gold off of us. Fine, it's just price of dealing with mages. And we'll get on with the rest of the quest. So we've got the hourglass, and supposedly we just need to use it outside the sphere generator. So why don't we do that? And yeah, this hourglass sprite gets reused for the Serpentile, and it becomes the #1 most important object because it lets you summon Thoxa to resurrect your party when they inevitably kill themselves. But yeah, we've parked outside you. Everyone remember that. We will use spells to transport ourselves back to the sphere gen, which is green stone. And in this version of events, we didn't actually think to do mark and recall to mark the sphere generator, so instead it's still on the old setting, which was the tetrahedron generator. Oh dear. Yeah, I mean the game crashed, so I'm willing to cheat a little bit in this for the sake of getting back on track. Nope, that's too much. Here we go. Have you done any other QBasic projects than the Gorillas integration? And is any of it posted on my Discord? I haven't done anything modern like the Gorillas integration, no. It is something that still interests me, and it was kind of fun to set that up, so maybe there's potential there for other projects like that. I do have an old archive of some of my QBasic stuff from way back in the day that maybe we could browse through sometime on stream. Like, there's a bunch of half-finished games, and I wonder if like I couldn't take some of my modern programming knowledge and apply it to these things and sort of dust off these projects, maybe make something new that was in the vein of what I was wanting to make originally. So that could be fun. Cool, you did something similar. Right, what did you do? I'd be keen to hear about it. At some point, I suppose I should post the changes I made to gorillas.bas and make them available for people to see, like, okay, this is how you rig it up with external controls. I can also post bits of my bot that integrate with that, although they won't be as useful to people because it requires the rest of my bot to get all the way into Twitch. I gotta take off for the night. Thanks for being a nice chill spot to rate. Thank you so much, Galara. Thank you for coming in and trusting your community with me. It's always a pleasure to have you around. Anyone else who doesn't follow Galara Dragon, please do so. A friend of mine was using QBasic a couple of years ago, so I picked it up for a week just for fun. So I wrote a sprite framework and something like that in QBasic 64. QBasic? I'm not familiar with... Is that QBasic 6.4 or like 64 as in 64-bit? Anywho, let's go fix up this whole sphere generator business. And that'll make the second of the generators that we've taken out. And then maybe we end stream and have a little nap on the sofa with the cat. Because that sounds pleasant. Drops. Ah, more caltrops. Frame rate lag. The Guardian defended the sphere generator with one of his most insidious traps ever. Low frame rates. Back. Welcome back, Empressville. Had to get some ice cream. Oh yeah, I would like some ice cream myself. I need to order some on the next shop. So, hick. So apparently, what we need to do here, use the hourglass to temporarily stop time, I guess. Doesn't seem to have a double click use, though. Ooh. Can we just walk through now? I guess we can just walk through as long as we're holding it. Cool. 25 degrees with flash flooding and I'm dying. Ooh. Well, it's gonna get hotter. So QB45, Cubase was the last official reversion if I remember right. 6.4 enables it, well, it runs it for 64-bit systems and includes native support for OpenGL and submodern extensions. Interesting. Yeah, I'm assuming the version I've got kicking around is 4.5. I love all of the modernization of toolchains and things that the retro community's been doing. That was easy. Like I wasn't even trying to follow the pattern or whatever, I was just doop 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 and we're done. I think you're supposed to follow this blinker and whichever color the blinker is showing, that's the moon gate you go through.
Thundercats! Ho!
Dangerous underscore dab3 just subscribed, you bloody legend. Techie0b gifted a tier 1 sub to Dangerous underscore dab3. This is their first gift sub in the channel.
Techie Rob, thank you so much, friend. That's very kind of you. Yeah, Dangerous Dave, enjoy the emotes and lack of adverts, I guess. Let's get. Oh, tell you what, Empress, you're around. Can we have a shout out for Techie Rob, please? Techie Rob is another retro streamer who mostly does like arcadey kind of games, which are fun, and often, again, time zones conflicting. It's a little difficult to catch your stream sometimes, but when I do, I always feel very welcomed, and it's very nice hanging out with you. Techie Rob, Empress, the person who just gifted the sub. You did it! Yay! Yeah, Techie Rob is a legend. Agreed, Dangerous Dave. So all you have to do now is grab this little enclosed prism, and we can destroy the Guardian's sphere generator here. Boom. And now we have a lot of reading to do. James, gets your captions working. I don't know, MP. The captions are nice, but have you noticed, like, they're often not really accurate to a point where maybe they're actually a little bit of a hindrance in that they're not very accurate. I've tried running it before with like the live captioning and it's not quite picking up my voice or my accent or something. Yes, have you seen mine? Well, yeah, there's that too. Mamela seems to get some really good accurate captions, and I don't know what she does or if it just likes her voice better. How many Nyan Pops were redeemed last night? Don't know how many Nyan Pops were redeemed last night. Thanks again for the Nyan Pop. You evil, evil person. Anyway, let's see what the Time Lord has to say, because he has a lot to say. Congratulations, Avatar, on destroying the sphere. I am free from my celestial prison. I thank thee. But I regret to inform thee that the Guardian engineered the sphere such that its destruction has permanently disabled the moon gates, and thine orb of the moons as well. Thou canst not return to thine home by way of a red moon gate. Oh no! Thine only hope of leaving Britannia at the conclusion of thy quest is to use the Guardian's own vehicle for entering the land, the Black Gate. Roll credits. The Guardian's followers are building the Black Gate of Black Rock, and will be using magic and natural elements to activate it. The Guardian plans to enter Britannia during the upcoming astronomical alignment, which is imminent. James. Yes, MP? How's it going? Is there something important? Did you unplug your headphones again? What kind of a beanie do you think I need for negative 15 degrees? I think you would need a beanie made out of lava. Molten rock. That's the trick there, yeah. 9 yen pops. That is the only time when the elements will work well enough for the Black Gate to be permeable and active. Thou wilt need a device which has the ability to vanquish Blackrock. If thou hast not already encountered such a device, thou canst find something to help thee in the workshop of Rudiom the Mage, in Cove. Before thou canst locate the Black Gate, there is one more generator which must be destroyed. It is the device used to transmit the Guardian's voice to his followers and to charm them into obeying his wishes. Look in the area near Serpent's Hold for a dungeon containing the generator. It is most likely shaped like a cube. It could very well be on the Fellowship's island east of Serpent's Hold. When thou hast completed this task, concentrate thine efforts in Buccaneer's Den. Thou mayest find clues there as to location of the Black Gate. Shouldst thou wish to speak with me again, simply use the hourglass. Goodbye. Alright. Mic drop. Well, that's another generator dealt with. You left a small sphere. Well done, party. Thank you. We need this to complete the game. Of course, the thing about the prisms is they're black. And the thing about the background of my inventory, you know, the general color of it, texture, is it's black. So we're popping it in this bag and we're probably never going to be able to find it ever again. Thanks for the shout out. No worries, Techie Rob. You mostly deserve it. You richly deserve it, rather. Better to say. Well, we want to get out of this dungeon quickly, so let's just use our old Orb of the Moons. Orb of the Moons. Orb of the Moons, I choose you. It's busted. Oh well. We could walk out of here, but I suppose we could also use spells. The easiest one to use would just be the help spell, which everyone gets at the linear circle, or cantrips if you like. Did Iolo exclaim how odd just then as we teleported out? That's strange. Anyway, we got out of the dungeon. We know what we need to do next. We need to find the cube generator. Doing my modly duties. Indeed. It's good to see you, MP. You're getting ready for your long trip. Did you end up giving yourself a shout-out? You should give yourself a shout-out. There's only so many Empress Vel streams we have until her very long trip. And yeah, we left the carpet up in U. No, the Forest of U. So we could go get that. I might go get it off stream. And we can sort out inventory. I totally promise this time I will do that. At the very least, let's put our nice bucket of Alagna blood here and store it with the others. And we'll just scooch it around there. Yeah. Move the chests out of the way so you can see it. It has sentimental value. And yeah, I guess that's it for now. Top Sheila, too, right? So our next target next week will be this island here, which is the Fellowship Retreat, where they have the cube generator. Or if we wanted, we could go on a little holiday to Jahalm. We haven't been there yet. Could go say hi to some people there. And then lastly, we would end up at Buccaneer's Den and talk with people. So I think we've still got a good number of episodes left in this series. Probably enough to take us through November. And then after that will be December, which will of course be December, of which I will be participating and playing DOS games. Surprise. So there's that, but more details on that to come later. Also, at some point, I need to organize my 7 Days to Die stream, of which I'll be playing 7 Days to Die each day of the week. Still on hold? Of course it's on hold. I have very limited energy. What do you expect? But that's fine. I know you all understand. And in the meantime, you can tune into the Stream Shed Discord. Empress, if you would be so kind as to do bang Discord in the chat. People can come see me there for updates and see other cool streamers like Captain Sumi and Mela, Moontoke, Melon Capybara, Itinuki, and all sorts of fun activities there. I'm slowly running out of ability to talk, which probably means it's time to stream and find someone to raid. I don't have a dedicated raiding out page right now, but you can look at the kitty. Look at the kitty. Don't even have Twitch open right now. Who is on who we might want to raid? Oh, and let me save while I remember to actually do these things. So who have we got? Ooh, Useless Jetty is playing Soma, and I love Soma so much. It is a fun game, and I've been following several people who've been playing it recently. So yeah, let's go raid Useless Jetty. If we're really lucky, we might see Catherine Chun pop into the stream, because I've noticed Catherine Chun pop into my stream when I was playing Soma, and also someone else's stream when they were playing Soma. So clearly it's just her modus operandi to just kind of pop in there and say stuff to people to spook them out, which is fun. So here is Discord if you want it. I'm intending to stick around on Twitter until it's finally burned to the ground, and if it does, I will change some of my socials, but you can always find stuff on neko.stream to see what my latest links are. There's a raid message here if we want to use it. Please do. You can throw some bongo cats in there if you want. I should probably make a raid too, shouldn't I? If you've got them, you can do whatever you like, you know. But let's go say hi to Useless Jetty and see how they're going with Soma, because it's such a nice game. It's one of those frictional games from the makers of Amnesia. It could be a bit spooky. If you're not liking that, then you don't have to follow. But I like it a lot. It's fun. And they're currently... Have they managed to get out of bounds? It kind of looks like they've managed to get out of bounds somehow. But no, we'll see how it goes. It's fine. Thank you everyone for stream. Thanks Empress for coming by. Thanks everyone for coming by. Thanks Galara for the raid. Thanks Techie Rob for the gift sub. You're all very nice people, and I will see you again next week. Bye.